Hey guys, Loot Wizard here with another video on Gems of War, and in this one I set up a team with the new mythic for this month, Aquaticus. I was lucky enough to get this mythic troop this time around, and so we're going to go over what I think about this troop, and also I will show off the team that I set it up in. Now, first of all, it is from the Kingdom Merlantis, and it has a 24 mana cost of green, blue, and yellow. It's considered a elemental and mystic troop, so that's interesting. There is actually a legendary troop that allows elemental troops to start with half mana, so that might be a possible troop that you want to include with this one. However, for the team that I'm going to be showing off, I did not do that, but that is a possibility. Now, let's look at its traits really quick. I don't think that the first one is really that important. It says it gains 1 life for each blue ally, and if it includes itself and you have 4 allies that 3 other allies that are blue, you will gain a total of 4 life, which is not really that significant. For the second one, we have spell armor, reduced damage from spells by 25%, and that's okay. You know, most of the damage you're going to be receiving anyway is going to be spell damage, so to reduce a little bit of that, you know, it's okay. I would expect it to be a little higher for a mythic troop, though, but, you know, it is what it is. For the third one, we have Submerge all allies when matching 4 or more gems. Now, Submerge is a status effect that will allow your troops to avoid all damage effects targeting the entire team, which can be a very important strategy, especially for guild wars. So when you're doing guild war battles and you can scout the enemy team, and if you see that they have like Dawnbringer, or they have primarily troops that only do damage to your entire team, well, then you can set up a team where you include Aquaticus, and you can have a really good defense against that kind of team setup. So that's important to think about. Now let's look at its ability here really quick. It says that it deals 31 light splash damage to 3 random enemies, and then it explodes half of the blue gems on the board. Now, so it is generating mana, which is good, and it's generating mana for its own color. So it will fill itself back up if there's nothing blocking it, which is pretty good. Now, the 31 damage there is boosted by my magic, so not everyone is going to have that high of a number, because I have my kingdoms maxed out. I have some guild bonuses that increase my magic, so this number might be a little lower for some of you, but that is the potential that you can get with this. I probably can get it a little bit higher, but that's going to be difficult. So 31 damage, light splash damage to 3 random enemies. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but there is some hidden damage in this sentence. So let's unpack it. First of all, what is light splash damage? Well, you might have noticed by now that some troops say heavy splash damage and some now say light splash damage. So the difference there is heavy splash damage, I believe, is half of the damage is done to adjacent enemies, and light splash damage is a quarter of the damage done to the initial troop is done to adjacent troops. So a quarter of my 31 damage here is going to be done to the troop below and the troop above. So this is important for the first enemy that you select to do damage with Aquaticus. Should be the 2 center troops, because if you select the one at the top or the one at the bottom, that initial damage will only do splash damage to the troop adjacent to it. So if you're doing damage to the top troop initially, there's no troop above the top troop, so it's only going to do a quarter splash damage to the troop below it, and you won't quite maximize the damage from using this troop here. Now, the other important thing is that it says 3 random enemies. So just like there's the other mythic troop, Tina 9000, which is really great, that does damage to random enemies, there's a similar mechanic here, which means that if there's only 1 enemy troop left, it will actually hit the same enemy 3 times, doing a total of 93 damage. At least that's what it's going to do for me, because my magic is 31 for this troop. So it will actually do a lot of damage to one enemy troop. It's just that it doesn't do as much damage as you think it does initially, because the damage is spread out between the 4 troops that are at the beginning of the battle. But as you destroy certain enemy troops and there's less of them alive, you will see it do quite a bit of damage. Now, the 24 mana cost seems like it's a lot, but with the team that I have set up, it fills up very quickly. So let's go over that. First of all, I am using the Frost Mage class for this. And never mind the name on that. I changed the team here, and I haven't selected a proper name for this team setup yet. So let's take a look at the class here first. If I go in here and I look at the class, I'm using the Frost Mage. Now, you can use this with different classes. I'm not saying that you have to use Frost Mage. This is just my team setup, and I think it works really well. So what do I get with Frost Mage? Well, Frost Mage has traits here where you gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell, which is kind of nice. But I'm using it mainly for the freeze. So 25% chance to freeze a random enemy when an ally casts a spell. Now, so freeze is really good because it keeps the enemy from gaining extra turns, which really does help you out. Now, also in the talent tree, I have it where it freezes a random enemy immediately when the battle starts. And I also, my hero gains a reduction to spell damage by 20%. Then I am actually, it has at level 40 Deluge, which is a submerge random ally on 4 or 5 matches, which really I don't need because I'm using Aquaticus for that. But, you know, if Aquaticus dies, then at least I still have a submerge ability within my hero class. But finally here at level 70 is Water Mastery, which gains bonus blue mana from blue gem matches, which is important here because I am using a banner which has 2+ to blue, but with my class this is actually 3+ to blue, so I'm going to have a lot more blue that's going to go into my troops. I'm using the lion banner, so I have a 1+ to yellow for Gorgatha here. Now I am using the Doomed Blade weapon, which is a blue mana with my class. So it does damage to all enemies, but then it converts red gems to skulls. Then in the third place we have Aquaticus. And Aquaticus is going to be doing our secondary damage. So I'm using really the Doomed Blade as primary damage, but if I don't have enough red gems on the board that's going to connect with the skulls, then I'm going to go ahead and cast Aquaticus when it's up. Then finally in the fourth place I have Skady, which is another mythic troop, which I do understand that not everybody's going to have the Doomed Blade and Aquaticus and Skady, but you know, this is the team that I set up right now. I'll probably try to figure out a team to use with Aquaticus that maybe only requires legendaries with it or non-legendaries, just to see if I can get a good team without using so many high-level troops. But for now, this is a team that I set up which works pretty good. So, but Skady here is really important in the last place for this team setup. We have, in its final trait, create an ice storm at the start of every turn, which is fantastic because an ice storm creates blue mana. So more blue mana is going to be coming down, more blue gems on the board. And I'm going to have Gorgatha here, which is going to explode gems. It's also a really good tank because it has 75% reduction from skull damage, which is great. And then we're going to have our Doomed Blade, which is going to be doing 40 damage to all enemies. And then, of course, it's going to create Doom Skulls. And then we have Aquaticus here in the third place, which is going to be doing 90 damage to one enemy if only one's left. It will be doing 90 damage, splash damage, and then it'll be doing more adjacent damage. So that's a lot. I'm also gaining the Submerge All Allies on 4 or 5 matches, which is a great defense against any troops that are going to try to damage my entire team. Then we have Skady here, which is really great for generating our mana, plus also it has the ability to freeze and mana burn the first 2 enemies, then it knocks them to the last position, which can be a really great thing. Plus also it summons Queen Mab. So if Gorgotha dies and I cast Skady, I will summon Queen Mab here up at the top. So my plan with this team was to build troops around Aquaticus that were great on defense, because Submerge is a great defensive status effect. And then also, so a lot of defense, enough blue mana coming down on the board so that Aquaticus would fill up quickly, as well as give it enough blue on the board to explode the blue gems, because it will explode half of the blue gems on the board. And then we're going to do damage with our Doomed Blade and Aquaticus, and finally Skady will do a little damage as well. So, yeah, I think that's enough talking about it. I probably talked about it way too long. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go in and do a battle. I'll show you how it works. But as far as like what I think about Aquaticus so far, I really haven't used it more than like for a couple of hours going up through my ranked PvP tiers. So so far I have a favorable impression of Aquaticus, but I wouldn't say that it's like really top tier. I would say it's around middle tier. But it's certainly not the worst troop. I've gotten mythic troops before that I just never have used, except maybe once. So as you can see here, I already cast my Doomblade, did quite a bit of damage there. And both Aquaticus and Skady are now already up, because there was so much blue on the board because I have this Ice Storm going. Now I can choose to explode use Aquaticus and explode half of the blue gems, or we could use Skady here and Mana Burn. So we have a lot of different options. I also do have this here, a Skull Match, where I can kill that first guy. And then let's go ahead and cast Aquaticus. And it exploded half of the blue gems. We have a lot of 4 and 5 matches there, so you can see that they're all submerged, which is great. I don't really have a lot of red matching, but we do have a red here, and we do have a red here, so I will be able to eliminate this troop with my Doomed Blade. And a little bit of skull damage to me doesn't bother me too much, because we do have Gorgotha here that has this 75% skull reduction. And all I have to do is cast Aquaticus here one time, and both of those are dead. And then again, it's full again because I have so much blue mana coming down. So it doesn't work against every team. Obviously, there is weapons and team setups that will defeat this team. One of those is this weapon here, Essence of Evil, which is really hard to defeat, honestly. Once it starts going, it just rips through your team pretty quickly, but as well as this mythic troop here, which kills an enemy instantly. So that team right there is not the greatest to fight against, no matter what team you're really rolling with. Let's see what this team looks like. And this team doesn't look that great to fight against either. You got life and death. You know, some of these teams, I tell you, people are putting like really strong defenses. Well, just for kicks and giggles, let's just fight this Essence of Evil. I'll probably die really quick though, but at least we'll have a rotation then of another team. Yeah, in this situation, I either want to get Gorgotha up or maybe Doomblade. I don't know. We got Doomblade up, but we don't have enough skulls actually matching with red, so that's unfortunate. And it looks like green. As soon as he gets one more green match, he's going to get his Essence of Evil up, which it's not going to be fun. Not going to be fun at all. Well, let's go ahead and cast Aquaticus here and just see what we can do. I just wish there was more skulls matching up with that. We do have one here. And I will do 40 damage with spells. I don't think it's enough to kill Essence of Evil, but it's something. It's something. And of course Essence of Evil hits my Doomed Blade. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Alright. Let's explode the board. And let's go ahead and cast Aquaticus. And it'll explode there. And then we have Skull Match here. That's nice. Let's do Aquaticus again. And hey, looks like we're going to win. Aquaticus for the win, man. That's great. I actually thought I was going to lose this one, honestly. Let's mana burn this thing. Only got 3 health left. Explode the board again. And Aquaticus is going to finish that one off. We won. Yeah, it's never fun going up against Essence of Evil weapon. That thing's pretty hard to defeat, but we actually pulled it off. So, yeah, I don't want to make this video too long. It's already gone on probably long enough. So, yeah, that's my team that I set up with the new Mythic Troop, guys. Hope you enjoyed listening and watching this video. Thanks for watching as always, and later.